Welcome on, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Let us know your name and where you're calling in from. Welcome on.
Monty Vaccarelli, Southwest Florida.
All right, welcome on.
Jim from Florida, New York.
Kurt Curran, Scarborough, Maine.
Welcome on, everyone.
From Arizona.
Illinois.
Michael Lucan, Houston, Texas. Chicago.
All right, good deal. Welcome on, everybody.
Communist.
Everybody coming in. All right.
So Tracy, York,
We're gonna
Pennsylvania.
get everybody muted out in 1 sec.
Lisa Kenny,
Deborah Hudson,
Vernon, New
Connecticut.
Jersey.
Tammy
All
Hankerson,
right, thanks for being here, everybody. We're gonna
Andy
get
Wallace,
started in
Chicago.
30
Big B,
seconds.
Chicago. Big B, Chicago.
Okay, Dayton, Ohio.
Love it.
Drop a number 3 in the chat if you're fired up.
All right, welcome on.
Nate Zeckman, Middleburg, Pennsylvania.
Okay, let me get the room muted out and the co-host.
Pennsylvania.
Boring, New Jersey. Boring, New
All
Jersey.
right, welcome
My
on.
name Vanessa from Chicago.
All right, I've muted everybody out. Co-hosts, you'll need to unmute yourselves as we go. So appreciate everybody being here. We're really excited about what's going on. My name is Tony Procopio. I'm one of the founding advisors here. I'm joined by my business partners, Jim Kenny, Ed Kenny, and Brendan Kenny. And you could not have reached Think Plus at a better time. There are so many things happening right now around the Think Plus world. We are moving like a rocket ship at this point. You need to stay in touch with the information, and that's what we're here to do today. We're here to bring the information to everyone, and we have an incredible lineup for you tonight. So sit back, take notes. This will be recorded as well. Make sure you put out an extra message to your team members right now, last minute. Say, get on this call right now. Let's get everybody onto this call immediately that's out there. So without any further ado, I would like to start off the meeting and just let you know that we have our CEO of the company, Michael Fallquist. Now, let me tell you what, Mike Fallquist is a visionary. And if you haven't met him, if you're new to the business, you wait till you see what's coming up with what we've got going on. Mike is an innovator. He's somebody that is nimble, and he runs this company in such a way that he makes sure that he's listening to the field, that he's listening to the people that he's working with. And we have him once a month here. We also have him once a week with our founders meetings, and he has his finger on the pulse of this business right now. And so without any further ado, I would love to bring on our CEO and founder, Michael Fallquist. Michael, are you there?
Hey, Tony, I am here. How are you today?
Doing great. How are you?
Awesome. I am doing great. I always love this time of the month. So it is great to be here. And, Tony, as always, thank you for that very kind introduction. I appreciate you, Ed, Brendan, and Jim very much, as well as all your wives as well. I'm really excited about tonight. We have a lot of really good announcements coming. Some that I think will be truly game changers for your business. You said it best. There is so much happening behind the scenes right now that you're privy to, that is going to be rolled out over the next 3-4 months, and so many of the big announcements that is going to be culminated at our convention. Right, that is going to be an event that you do not want to miss. So it is, it's really exciting as we start tonight. Really starts our march towards that event, and everything we're going to be doing is building towards it. So I'm going to keep my remarks tonight on the short side, and it's because of the lineup we have. We have a very special guest tonight, Christian MacArthur, our president and our chief operating officer, is going to join us, and he's going to enlighten us about what's going on in the energy markets, which is really important for your businesses, and what that means for your businesses long term. So I'm really excited about that. Phil gets to be the star of the show. He's got a great new promotion he's going to roll out that is going to set everyone on this call. It will be very exciting when that's released. And we're going to end obviously with Brad talking through all the rank advancements in the month of July. So with that, next slide, Lauren. Yeah, one of the things that we've talked a lot about internally, and we've talked a lot about with the founders, is that if we can avoid the seasonal slowdown in network marketing, just think what can happen to our businesses come September. So we've invested a lot of time, resources, and money in promotions this summer to ensure that our businesses aren't falling off, but we're building the foundation for what is going to be an epic run as we march towards convention in November. So if you remember in June, we offered double RABs and double points and double bonuses on electricity. We launched the Bat Flips promotions for community solar. And we saw in the month of June near record growth across both community solar and electricity. So in a month that was supposed to be the start of the slow period, we actually were performing at all-time highs. In July, we continued this is for electricity. The Bat Flip promotion continued. And we had another excellent month. In fact, as you can see, in the month of July, as compared to June, rank advancements were up 87%. Next one, Lauren. And commissions paid in that period was up 47%. Think about that. Rank advancements in July, when in June, we were doubling the value of rank advancements, yet in the month of July, it was up 87%. We set out to ensure we were building momentum come the fall. We're doing it. And it's really exciting. But the reality is we're not done. Summer's not over. My kids haven't come back to school yet. And so we're continuing to build that momentum in August. We launched the Turn Up the Heat promotion. We've continued the Bat Flip promotion. And the best promotion, it's going to be unveiled by Phil in the next 10 minutes. So it's going to be really exciting. So there are some very exciting things we're building as we come out of the traditional summer slow period. We've done nothing but build momentum. Can you imagine what's going to happen in your businesses come September, October, and November as everybody on your team goes back to work? Just look at this call today. It's August 19th and we have over 380 people on the call. That just highlights the momentum we're building in this business. Well, that excites me. I have to say, next slide. What really excites me is that we are 27 days away from Puerto Rico. I have a calendar every day. It's like my motivation. I just cross off a new day as we're all going to be together, all the winners. There's going to be over 100 people there between winners and corporate. And I got to tell you this. You've heard me say it before. I use the phrase all the time in our business about continuous improvement. That applies to trips too. So the second trip is better than the first. This third trip's going to be better than the second. And so on and so forth. So for everybody who's qualified for that trip, I cannot wait to spend time with you. I can't wait to sit on the beach, have a beer, catch up, just spend quality time together, be it on the golf course or just looking at the sunset. So I am so excited. 27 days from now. And if you didn't make this trip, we launched another one. And that's going to be in the spring of next year when we'll be going. So yeah, be there if you didn't make this one. So I want to now introduce Christian MacArthur. Christian is the president, Laura, next slide, president and CEO, COO of Think Plus. He's my partner. I had the pleasure of meeting Christian back in 2013. we had taken Viridian, we'd started that in 2009, and that went public as one of the brands of Creus Energy in 2012. I thought that was one of the most impactful moments of my life going public, only to figure that the hard work had just begun. I was very fortunate to meet Christian in 2013. He had previously been working and running Just Energy's energy pricing and supply desk. He managed the risk and pricing for 5 million customers worldwide. We were very fortunate that he came to Creus. His impact on that business, changed the outcome of it. So he is someone who I consider one of the foremost experts in retail energy pricing, structuring energy markets. Also a great person. So if you get to spend time with him in Puerto Rico, enjoy. So Christian, welcome.
Thank you for having me. And thank you for a kind introduction, my friend. So everybody, appreciate you having me on the call here today. I really wanted to take some time to walk through some important changes that we've seen in the energy markets over the last weeks and months here. In some cases, we've had some regular calls and updates with different teams for different states. But there's been recently some fairly major news that will impact, how we think about pricing and products and opportunity going forward. And so I wanted to summarize those and give an opportunity for the group here to ask questions about what it means. Lauren, next slide, please. So for some of you that have been on calls with me in the past, we've spent a lot of time talking about ERCOT, the Texas market. Going into this summer, we saw extreme prices. Really, the market was focused on the potential for heat and what that could do to supply and demand, and it drove prices higher. There's also been a massive amount of load increase in ERCOT from data centers. And, all of that has culminated in extremely, high prices. And so those of you that are in the Texas market or have teams in the Texas market, you would have seen our pricing increase going into the summer. And we had, discussions around why and what it meant from a pricing perspective. But a couple of interesting things have happened since then. Number one was the Hurricane Beryl hit Houston in early July and knocked load out for many customers in the CenterPoint utility. In fact, there was many customers that didn't have power for upwards of 14 days. That had an enormous impact on strain on the grid, as well as just prices in July in itself. Further, it brought a lot of rain with it, which had an impact longer term on weather for the rest of the summer. And so what we've seen is that, while prices were expected to be extremely expensive, we've actually seen this summer prices to date tracking about 86% under where they were last year. Last year was a record year in terms of price volatility for the summertime. The average peak price was over $200. This year, it's significantly lower than that. And that's really, it's a weather-driven phenomenon. But that also has a great impact on our prices. And so, Lauren, if you could go to the next slide, please. So fundamentally, it's translated in a price shift downward back to the lows that we've seen over the last 12 months. So what that means is, for customers that you've got that have been thinking about switching, thinking about joining, think now is the best time to join. And what I would say is we are generally bullish for ERCOT summers. We expect prices to go back up. And so this opportunity to get people locked into longer terms at some of the best rates that we've seen over the last 12 months or more, it's a really great time to do that. So I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about ERCOT and that market volatility, because it's a really good lead into my next slide, which is, hey, we've seen all this volatility in ERCOT in Texas. It's really caused a lot of price spikes, a lot of uncertainty in forward rates. But I get asked the question all the time, what does that mean for non-Texas markets? What does it mean for the Northeast? And, I think we've tried to be consistent in saying that, the dynamics between supply and demand are consistent with, what we see in the Northeast. It's just the Northeast is a little bit slower to catch up. And so I'm going to explain why, and I'm also going to explain why things have caught up and what that means. So Lauren, if you could go to the next slide, please. So fundamentally, ERCOT, the Texas market, and PJM, the Midwest market, and PJM covers basically, everywhere from New Jersey, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Illinois. There's Delaware and DC in there as well. And so it covers a lot of different geography. The markets, though, are fundamentally different. PJM has what's called a capacity market. And what that effectively means is that generators are paid to be in the market, whether they actually generate electricity or not. They're paid to be there to be ready in case their generation is needed. That's different than Texas. In Texas, if you're a generator, you're there, you're hoping prices are high so that you get paid. Whereas in PJM, you get paid to be in the market and be ready to generate if you're needed. So what that means is you tend to see greater price spikes in ERCOT because there's usually not enough generation. The amount of generation lags all this price volatility. It takes prices to be high for generation to come in. Whereas in PJM, generators are paid to be there, so it tends to be less volatile as a result. And so, ultimately, what we would expect is to see higher price volatility in ERCOT, and the way that the same fundamental reasons that drive price volatility in ERCOT, that should show up in PJM as a capacity cost, or to see an increasing capacity. So what's interesting is we haven't seen this capacity increase over the last 5 years or so. And when you look at the market, all the additional load that has been coming in, and there's a lot of load increase across the US. I'm sure everybody as part of the election has read about, data centers and the increase in electricity demand and everything that's happening with that. That's happening in ERCOT in Texas, and it's happening in these PJM markets as well. And all that incremental demand is being met with renewable supply, with solar and with wind. And up until recently in PJM, solar and wind was treated the same as a natural gas generator, which meant that it got to participate in these capacity markets as if, they could generate supply on demand. And so what's happened is there's been a fundamental change in how PJM thinks about those generation assets. And as a result, it's had an impact on pricing for that capacity market. Lauren, if you could go to the next slide, please. So here's ultimately, I think the slide says a lot about what's happened. And I'll talk a little bit about what this means for the market. But up until this year, capacity prices dropped for 5 consecutive years. And so while load was going up and all that load was being met with new solar and wind, capacity prices were going down. However, they've rebounded to highs for the capacity year starting next year. And capacity, for whatever reason, goes between June of the year and May of the next year. So starting in June 2025, we're seeing these new highs in capacity prices. And in a lot of cases, as you can see on the bottom right, prices year over year are going up, 4 to 8 times what they were the prior year. And that's ultimately because there's stricter constraints on how renewable generation gets treated in the market. And so as soon as effectively you start either disqualifying or discounting how solar and wind can participate, it means there's less perceived generation in PJM. And what does that do? It makes capacity prices go way up. And so we're seeing this material increase in those costs. And those are costs that directly impact all consumers. We price them into our offers to customers, so does the utility. And so across the board, this is going to translate into higher prices for everybody. And those prices will start to impact months that are in that capacity year of starting next June. Lauren, if you could go to the next slide, please. Okay, so impact on rate. So if you look at this, the chart on the right side, this shows you what prices are in the future before and after this capacity change. So prior to the change, we had an assumption of what we thought capacity prices would do. We did expect them to go up, but they went up more than what we expected. And so what you can see is this material change from prior to after this announcement was made around new capacity prices. It is a substantial increase in pricing. And in fact, because it impacts these future years, it had an immediate impact on our 36-month offers. And so for those of you that are, selling in those states that I mentioned, you would have noticed that on August 1st, all the 36-month terms popped up. And that is because of this change that you see here. In addition to that, as we move forward throughout the rest of this year and into next year, our 12-month terms more and more will stretch into that new capacity period. And so as a result, as we move into next month and the month after, as more of the customer's term overlaps into this new capacity year, we will see our rates to continue to step up as a result. And so, ultimately what that means is all rates, including utility rates across the board in those states, will go up, and you're seeing some immediate impact on our rates. You'll also see it in our competitors' rates as well. And so, as you think about what this means from a selling perspective, it certainly, would tell you that selling the 12-month rate, allows a customer to avoid that capacity increase, but also locking in that 36-month rate, means that they can avoid, future increases like this. Anybody that signed a 36-month term the day before this was announced, has locked in a deal that's going to be, 1 to 2 cents lower than, what's available now going forward. So, getting people to lock in as we go into this period of uncertainty, there's a huge amount of value in that. Lauren, do you want to go to the next slide, please? So, outside of just the impact on price, what does this mean in terms of, how we think about the opportunity in the market, how this impacts the products that we offer? Ultimately, the volatility that we see in ERCOT, so big price spikes, prices going up and down depending on weather. And now that same volatility has showed up in PJM, but in the form of high capacity prices. We think it's a great thing for our business long term. It means that utility rates are increasing, and that we should expect more volatility, more big swings in utility rates going forward. And so in the past, a lot of our markets, we've seen, really expensive prices in winter. They sometimes come down in summer. We're going to continue to see that. And I think the extremes are going to be even greater going forward. And so the opportunity to provide stable pricing to customers will become, even greater, from now going forward. This change in the market is likely to hurt some competitors in the space who, might be out there with what seems like really low pricing. But it's more than likely they will have to break contracts with customers, pass this cost through to their customers. They may not be able to, may go out of business as a result. While we increased our new sales rates for new customers going forward, we did not change any rates for any existing customer. Everybody who locked in those rates are honored and they're good to go, they will be saving money for the next 3 years and be materially lower than where the utility is at and where the rest of the retail market is at. And then, the last thing I would say is volatility is great when it comes to creating innovative products for customers, right? It allows us to really think about how do we create value from, an understanding of this market dynamic. And so when you think about products like Think Smart that reward customers for shifting load, shifting load now has materially more value in these markets because you've got, extremely high capacity costs and extremely high peak costs in ERCOT, right? Which are effectively, driven from the same thing. It also now enables product opportunities to do something that's very different, like controlling thermostats or EVs, or working with customers that have batteries to really turn them into their own generators. And so what you will see from Think going forward is more and more emphasis on product innovation. And it's really going to be product innovation that harnesses this opportunity to enable customers to lower their prices versus the rest of the market by avoiding these sources of what's driving high price here. And so with that, I just wanted to wrap up with, thanking you guys for letting me be here today. And I don't know if there's time, Mike, for questions.
No, yeah, I don't think questions probably not this probably isn't the time, but what I would say is it's very insightful, right? The key takeaways for me is, what we're seeing in the market is resulting in opportunity, right? When you think about our core electricity product, that there's no limitation to how much we can sell. Consumers are going to be more interested in it as volatility goes up. Our ability to provide innovation that creates incremental value to consumers is just increased. And as we think about our ownership of Proton, our proprietary technology, that just, positions us as a leader. I think the other comment you made, Christian, that I thought was really interesting was your comment about how it probably or may impact competitors in the market who sold products and are now dealing with this issue. So, Christian, thank you for your time. We appreciate it on a Monday night. All right, Lauren, moving on.
Thanks, everybody.
So next up is Phil. And, it's always a pleasure to introduce Phil on the call. Phil's someone who has a very unique skill set, data-driven, incredibly smart, created his own nickname, Captain America. We love everything about him, and he has the pleasure of getting you very excited about our most recent promotion. So without further ado, Phil, take it away, my friend.
Thanks, Mike. And thanks, Christian, for that. A lot of what Christian's talked about has me really, really excited about our road to national convention, right? Go ahead, Lauren. Everything that he's kind of articulating is the fact that, like, all this technology that we're working on with Proton, all the different products and innovations that's coming out of, like, all the amazing minds and talent that we have at Think Energy and working on this network is just absolutely astounding. And it's working with all of you, and it's working with this field that is, like, just transformed my view on everything you do, how you connect with people, how we build this community. And so there are so many great things that are coming up with the national convention. And because we've got such an amazing national convention coming up, I really wanted to focus on making sure everybody is there to participate in it. And so that's why, starting today, go ahead, next slide, Lauren. We are launching a new promotion effective today, right? And it's pretty simple, right? Register and attend the national convention, and all of your personal points are going to be doubled. And for every EA on your team that registers and attends the national convention, you'll earn double on their personal points too. And we are going to do this all live and on stage. And so I've got a widget launching next week. We've got all kinds of cool stuff around it. And as you guys know, there's tons of cool sales enablement stuff coming. Marketing Center is up and running, lots of new collateral there too. But I am so excited about having every single person in the room at National Convention where Mike flips the switch and everybody's getting dinged like crazy, ranking up, advancing, all of these messages. It is going to be the most fun experience, right? I am really, really excited about that. And so this idea of doubling points for everybody that registers and attends is just like, we're going to create the largest collective rank advancement in a singular moment in the network's history. And we're going to be hard pressed to one up that next year. But it all starts today. All the points that you guys got today, if you register and you attend the National Convention, you got them. Moving forward. Go on, next slide, Lauren. And so, let's talk about that, right? Okay, so with the National Convention approaching, I'm pushing my team to attend and double their points. So I got 100 points, I'm attending. Lauren's got 100 points, she's attending. And Shannon's got 100 points and she's attending. Brad's got 100 points, but Brad didn't attend, all right? No bueno, Brad. And because Brad didn't show up, I only get 300 points, right? Because we're doubling all those points, right? So I get 300 points. Lauren gets an extra 100 points. Shannon gets an extra 100 points. And Brad gets a rock. Don't be like Brad. Don't get a rock. Get the extra points. Make sure every single person in your team registers and shows up for National Convention. And we are all going to just celebrate together as one big community where everybody is just collectively rank advancing at the same time. It is going to be such a fun experience. And there's so much news, so many announcements. It's so exciting. And I just want to make sure every single person is there. And so from now until convention starts, you got a massive opportunity to rank advance with the rest of the crew. And it is going to be a really, really great time. So get out there, get everybody excited. Next slide, Lauren. And on August 26th, we're going to launch a widget. So it's super simple for you guys to be able to see everything in your back office. You'll be able to log in. It's right there. We'll have full promotion details and all that other stuff. Make it easy on you guys. But at the end of the day, it's super, super simple that every point from now until convention gets doubled if you register and you attend. And you get everybody else on your team to register, attend as well, and their points are going to get added. That's it in a nutshell, guys. And I cannot wait to see everybody in Jersey. And I promise you, you are going to have a great time, and there is a lot of great news and announcements coming. So, with that, let's keep it moving. Next up, Lauren, you know her. We know her, we all love her. Lauren, let's give us some updates on what's going on.
All right, so now that you guys have heard about this amazing promotion and that if you show up, you register, you get points, let me tell you how you can do all that. Because you're gonna have to know if you would like to not get a rock, as Phil said. So, Atlantic City, New Jersey. So here's what you're gonna do. I'm gonna leave this up for a little bit. You can scan the QR code. It'll take you to the Eventbrite with all of the information. It's going to be November 8th to the 10th. I'm sure you guys have that ingrained in your mind because I tell you all the time. Right now, we're running a promotion where your tickets are $99. And September 1st, we may change that to $129. So just to keep that in mind. Now, what is it going to look like? Because it's going to be an amazing event of 3 days. So this is the hotel information. There's the phone number for the rooms. This is how you book. You call the hotel. You say you're a part of the Think Plus convention. They will give you the room discount for the booking that we did, and you're all set. So it is a little confusing because I know there's a group code here, but you really can just say you're a part of Think Plus, and it'll be applied. Now, here's how it works. So there's Saturday, there's morning registration, there's attendees, you check in, you receive your event materials. There's corporate presentations where we're going to all be really excited. Phil has made it so that I need to get a button or now a switch for this whole promotion thing. That's just the tip of the iceberg, and not even, because everything else is going to be really fun. There's going to be interviews with corporate. There will be fireside chats like the ones that Phil and I do, or office hours like Shannon and I do. There's going to be a really fun evening party and dinner. And let me tell you, I know how to throw a party. So it's going to be a lot of fun and not something you're going to want to miss. And then Sunday, because I didn't want to just see you guys once this year for convention, because that was not enough for me. We're going to have breakout sessions so that you guys can learn tips and tricks on how to expand your business, get able to ask us questions, and all of that fun stuff. So that's everything about convention. So now you know how to buy a ticket, you know how to register for the event, you know where you have to go to book it. And as always, if you have any questions regarding it, you can always ask me. The process is super easy, I hope. But if not, I'm more than happy to walk you through it, because I don't want any of you to miss this promotion. All right. So the next thing is, what I like to do is obviously hang out with all of you. So I like to make myself more accessible, corporate more accessible, because us just being able to talk to you once a month wasn't enough. So Shannon and I serve office hours every Tuesday and Thursday from 3 to 4. It's where you can ask us any questions that don't pertain to a customer. We hang out. I get to know you guys a little bit more. You get to know me. I get to pick your brains about what promotions you want and what things you would like to see at events. So it's a lot of fun. So every Tuesday and Thursday, 3 p.m. And then we have fireside chats every Thursday with Phil and myself. Sometimes Steve hops on, like he hopped on our last one. And we talk about capacity updates, what's going on in community solar. We walk you through how it works and answer all the quirky questions that we know people have about community solar, because I do understand it's a beast. So if you guys have any questions about that or just want a refresher, it's every Thursday at 6 p.m. And then now I get to introduce Brad. He's the other person that matches my energy and is hyper and bubbly and exciting. And I can say that he's almost a better cheerleader than myself. For you guys at least. So take it away, Brad.
Thanks, Lauren. Appreciate it. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, you're perfect.
And Phil, I didn't like that analogy of Brad gets a rock. Brad does not get a rock. Brad would be furthest from a rock.
Hey,
And
you do realize that now we're going to have pet rocks named Brad at the convention, right?
That's true, buddy. That is true. But Phil and Lauren, thanks for everything you do, and Mike and Christian for the team. That's an unbelievable announcement. I don't know if you guys know this, but we ran some numbers today about how many points we produce in a typical month. And of course, this is about a 2.5 month run, right, Phil? To we got half of this month left, approximately. Yep. All of September, all of October, 8 days in November. There's going to be tens of thousands of points that are just accumulating until Mike hits that button. There's going to be a rank advancement, dings, alerts going off like crazy. I think we'll be breaking a senior partner. I think we'll break maybe multiple regional partners, definitely a bunch of partners, a ton of senior directors, regional. I mean, it's just going to be, it's going to be unbelievable.
Great. Like, think about this, Brad. You know the New Jersey Blitz that's still going on? Those guys are worth 4 points right now. Imagine if you double that.
That's 8, no doubt. And Tony, I know Tony's smiling. He's run the numbers, but what normally would take, 10 customers, or depending on, what market you're in, 20 customers, if it's just electricity, in the 535, Tony's going to have an analogy done tomorrow. I know it, or someone is, that says you can become a retail energy advisor with 2 customers, or something as ridiculous as that, 2.5 customers, right, Tony? Yep. So, folks, I'm so excited about what's going on. And I get to talk about the people that are really making it happen, and to go through some rank advancements in the top enrollers this month. So, next slide, please, Lauren. Thank you. Top performers for July. Let's go. Next slide, please. Most customers personally enrolled in July, and they are Citizens Oil in Connecticut. In 9th, Zuzman S. in New York, Johnny M. in Illinois, Leanne G. in Texas, Laura M. in New Hampshire, Brian K. in Illinois, Laura H. in Massachusetts, Marcia M. in Illinois, Teresa S. in Pennsylvania, Melanie S. in New Jersey, Rita J. in Connecticut, Elias K. in Maryland, Bertha Alicia H in Texas, and Energy T in Connecticut. Congratulations to all of you. Next slide, please. Most customers personally enrolled in July. Community Solar. Alizar B in New York, Yitzka Z in New York, Nietzsche H in New Jersey, Jalea J in Missouri. Congratulations to you. I see you in the top of the leaderboard too for the Illinois bat flip. Esther K in New York, Tavon W in Missouri, who's in second place, going back and forth with Jalea, who's in his team. Elias K in Maryland, Hindi T in New York, Nathan W in New York, and Yakov S in New York. Congratulations to all of you for the month of July. Top Community Solar. Next slide, please. Most energy advisors are enrolled in July. This is one of my favorite slides right here, because enrollments means customers. We're now at 10 customers. Phil, correct me if I'm wrong. Average per energy advisor, 10 customers. Started at 5, and then it went to 9. Now it's at 10. Esther K in New York, Legacy T in Florida, Tamika C in Georgia, Lynette R in Illinois, Cosmos M in Texas, Herd AM in New Jersey, Mary O in Maryland, Amanda B in Maryland, Devon W in Missouri, Zachary L in Illinois, Abufo W in Maryland. Talk to you today. Nag Energy in Florida, Brian K in Illinois, Brian J in Illinois. One's known as Big B. And the other one's known as Littler B, but they're both pretty big men. And Nathan W in New York. Congratulations to all of you. Next slide, please. Okay, first rank advancements in the month of July. And Michael touched on it. 81% more rank advancements this month than last month. And last month was a great month. Regional energy advisors. Okay, folks, there's 133 of them here. And I'm going to do my best to, as I hide this, to not butcher their names. Marcus C in Illinois, Lizette A in Mass, Lippa H in New York, Linda W in Maryland, Linda M in Florida, Lillian K in New Jersey, Landon R in Texas, Landon R in Virginia, Kenya C in Mass, Keith W in Texas, Carla B in Ohio, Carl N in Connecticut, Judy F in Texas, Joshua W in Texas, Jose C in Texas, John S in Mass, John P in Texas, Joel D in New York. I'm missing someone here because I can't read it because my thing's in the way. Joan M, I think, in New York, Jesse O in New Hampshire, Jennifer F in PA, Jelia J in Missouri, Jasma J in Illinois, Jamie R in Ohio, Jacqueline W in Texas, Isaac J in Illinois, Huddy S in New York, Heather G in Texas, Herd B in New Jersey, Hatham K in Connecticut, Gloria D in Arizona, Gerald C in PA, Fernando Z in Texas, Esther R in New Jersey, Eduardo B in Texas, Dominic P in Utah, Dolores B in Mass, Diana C in Mass, Diana G in Texas, Deborah W in PA, Davey R in Minnesota, David R in Mass, David P in PA, David O in Maryland, David M in Tennessee. David's got to be the hot name. You want to be named Davis. David, if you want to rank up. Cynthia U in PA, Collis B in Texas, Cindy J in Florida, Chris P in Texas, Chris F in PA, Chesky F in New Jersey, Cheyat C in New York, Charlotte P in Texas, Charles B in PA, Claim H in New York, Cassidra P in Illinois, Carol C in Ohio, Bruce G in Texas, Brittany C in Texas, Brittany J in Texas, Brian K in Illinois, Brian C in Mass, Brenda B in Texas, Brandon K in PA, Bertha H in Texas, Barbara C in Illinois, AVM in Illinois, Audra R in Texas, Audra D in Texas, Arthur S in Mass, Ari K in Maine, Anthony A in New Jersey, Amanda P in Ohio, Amanda C in Maryland, Alan P in PA, Alicia S in Texas, Alexis C in Mass, Ada T in Texas, and I'm going to have a heart attack. Next slide, please. Okay, Yvette B in Mass, Yossi S in New Jersey, Joseph H in New York, Yiska Z in New York, Yakov S in New York, Yakov Y in New York, William C in PA, Whitney G in Texas, Vanessa S in Connecticut, Tyvon W in Missouri, Trent R in Texas, Tova M in Maryland, Tima G in Maryland, Thomas L in New Jersey, Terry D in Texas, Teresa S in PA, Susan F in California, Stephen H in Ohio, Savannah R in Illinois, Stephanie M in Illinois, Shirley D in Maryland, Sharon E in Mass, Scott C in Maine, Royce R. in Texas, Ron G. in PA, Robert B. in Maryland, Robert C. in Illinois, Rivki H. in New York, Rivka W. in New York, Rita J. in Connecticut, Rizal K. in New York, Randy S. in Maine, Randy G. in Texas, Rachel S. in New York, Philip B. in Maine, Pauline L. in PA, Paul P. in PA, Pamela S. in Connecticut, Nicole H. in New York, Nicole G. in Texas, Nicole R. in PA, Neil B. in Texas, Navros H. in Texas, Narenda P. in Texas, NAG LLC in Florida, Moshi H. in New York, Morgan P. in Connecticut, Miriam Y. in Maryland, Michael G. in New York, Michael C. in Virginia, Manicham in New York, Mary O. in Maryland, and Mark S. in New Jersey. And holy smokes, congratulations to all of you for ranking up to Regional Energy Advisor in July. Next slide, please. Senior Energy Advisors. Here's where the rank infinity starts, folks. 32 advancements this month. Sussman S. in New York, Zev K. in New York, Joseph B. in New Jersey, Yaron K. in Illinois, Tyler L. in California, Sora S. in New Jersey, Simi S. in New York, Sheena S. in Ohio, Ron F. in Texas, Rocky B. in Texas, Peter G. in New Jersey, Nancy A. in Ohio, Michael O. in Illinois, Michael C. in PA, Marcia M. in Illinois, Mark R. in New York, Legacy T. in Florida, Julius W. in Florida, Julio H. in Virginia, Joseph K. in PA, Jose G. in Texas, Jason S. in Ohio, Israel F. in Connecticut, Gloria G. in New York, Esther R. in Illinois, Energy T. in Connecticut, David I. in New York, Christy L. in PA, Columbus E. in New Jersey, Christian C. in Ohio, Bill G. in Ohio, and Agnes D. in Connecticut. Congratulations to all of you. Next rank, key rank. Directors, 11 of them this month. This is where coding kicks in, folks. So it's more important now to go to work more than ever now that you're a director, because now you get coding on your new groups. And they are Success E in Maine, Virginia R in Connecticut, Lindsay S in Mass, Johnny D in Texas, Jerry A in Ohio, Jacob S in New York, Jacob R in Connecticut, Francis N in New York, Clayton B in Virginia, Christine M in PA, and Alex Y in New Jersey. Congratulations to all of you. Next rank, please. Regional Director, 6 advances this month. And we got them all on the call, folks. We're going to ask them to all join. We're going to find them in the participants so that we can ask them all the questions. We're going to have a little panel here. And they are for July, Charles J. in Ohio, Fred L. in New Jersey, Joseph S. in Maryland, John L. in PA, and Michael D. in MA, Mass, and Mike K. in Illinois. We're going to find them all in the meeting here, and I'm going to ask them a question. John L., are you there and able to talk? John L., are you on? Michael Dumas, are you on? Chuck Jones, George Schifano, and Mike Karcheski. Fred opted not to be part of the panel. So
Fred,
if we can find them.
Fred, ask them to raise their hand and then they'll pop to the top.
Gotcha. Guys, would you raise your hand, please, so we can find you? There's a lot of people in the room. If you raise your hand, we'll find you and ask you a question. Thanks, Jim.
Brad, I think we have George on the line right now. He's unmuted.
Okay, perfect. George, congratulations, my friend. I know you're a very busy and successful in real estate. Everyone wants to know, as do I, how do you find time for Think, and why do you find time for Think with your busy schedule and how successful you are?
Well, thank you, Brad. I appreciate it. You know, I've been in the energy business for a good while now, and I'm very tied to my guys, you know, Brendan and Ed. And matter of fact, we're just finishing up a meeting here in Maryland in Gambles. I hosted we had well over 60 people, so very successful. Big John was here. So, you know, the key of it is, you know, busy people get things done, right? So the bottom line is, you know, when you have something this wonderful, you know, how could I not be a part of it? And, you know, I am busy, but the busier I am, the more successful I become in the energy business because I run across more people. So the key of it is it's your belief. It has to be in your vocabulary. and just live your life, do what you do. And if you do what you do, this thing will grow, exponentially. So it's important to just have the belief. And, I love it because, I meet new people every day. So it's many more opportunities. That's just how it works. So guys, thank you so much. And I appreciate the support and the help, and everybody in this company is just, they're wonderful. Michael's amazing. So I'm honored to be a part of it. And my whole game and my whole life in building mega companies as I did was giving back. And the key of it is this company is all about giving back. So I'm happy to be part of the family.
Well, thanks, George. And I couldn't agree more, my friend. Tony, did we find anybody else yet?
I think we have Mike, and I think we have Mike
Dumas?
Karchevsky.
Hold on, let's see if I can get it on here.
Mike K.
Mike Dumas or Mike
Yeah, I'm here.
Karcheski?
Mike Karcheski's here.
Mike Karcheski. So congratulations, Mike. I know you've had a ton of success in MLM and made millions in the industry. Why do you do Think Plus, buddy?
Well, Brad, first of all, again, appreciate you guys having me on. 27 years ago, I got started in this industry, and you're right. My first 10 years, I call it the practice company. We were paid millions of dollars. But one of the things that I quickly realized is that I was 20 years late to that game. The company that I made those millions of dollars at had started 20 years prior. And a lot of my mentors that had been with the company since 1980, I was in 6th grade in 1980, had been making 7 figures a year for over a decade. So they had what we would call generational wealth. Those were the guys that had a big influence on me and taught me how to be a builder. So when Michael Fallquist flew 30 of us from around the country out to Connecticut during Think Energy's pre-launch, the thing that really grabbed my attention was the ability to be first, to be early with community solar. See, when you look at community solar, everyone, currently there's less than 500,000 homes subscribed to a farm in America. And that number is jumping to approximately 40 million homes in the next decade. Now, guys, I might not be the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I will tell you this. We are the only network marketing company, relationship marketing company that is helping these developers fill their farms. We will become the primary customer acquisition model for these developers over the next decade. We have an ambitious goal to capture 70% of the market. 70% of 40 million homes is 28 million homes. And I'm here to tell you, the reason I'm here is, let's say we miss that number and we only get 10 million homes. Do you realize that a few $100s in commission is paid into our compensation grid each time a home is subscribed to a community solar farm because of a Think Energy advisor? Do the math. $250 times 10 million homes is $2.5 billion in commissions that are going to be paid to our advisors over the next decade. I'm here to tell you, the reason I'm here is Think Energy is definitely the California gold rush of the 21st century. So all you have to do is grab a shovel, grab a bucket, heck, grab a wheelbarrow, and get as much as you can. Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's, said, you want to be successful, you got to be in the right place at the right time with the right opportunity. Well, that's where we're at. And guys, we are early. We are first. So take advantage of this opportunity. And I will tell you this, whoever builds the biggest organization is going to get, and you just got to ask yourself, and I'm done, Brad. You just have to ask yourself, how many of those 10 to 28 million homes do you want in your organization? Because that's what we're talking about. Real generational wealth is going to be built by people that understand that they are in the right place. This is the right time. And now we just have to take massive action.
Amen to that, Mike. And you can't add anything to that, buddy. That was right on point. It makes a lot of sense, my friend. Thank you for all you do. And how about John Latcha? Are you on the call yet?
Trying to get him on right now, Brad. We've got Mike Dumas and we've got Chuck Jones.
All right, Mike Dumas. Welcome to the call, buddy, and congratulations. I know you're very successful in your contracting business. You're very busy with your music schedule, with your band, a very accomplished musician. How has been an energy advisor with Think impacted your life, my friend?
Thanks for having me on, Brad. I was having difficulty getting unmuted. I don't know why I couldn't, wouldn't allow me to, speak. And my video was all blocked as well. But that said, it's a pleasure to be here. It's nice to be on the call. Very exciting news. The what was just released tonight was pretty mind blowing for anyone that really understands that. I'm trying to wrap my head around it as we speak, and well, that's very exciting. But okay, so yeah, I've got a contracting business. I'm in the entertainment business as well, and I am a busy guy. And this business has changed my life. It's changed my family's life. And what has happened to me is it's a dream come true because I've been able to really scale way back on the contracting work, working as hard as I have over the years. This business has unlocked some doors for me and my family, and it's giving me, honestly, at this level of the business, and we are just getting started. It is just it's changed. It's giving me more time freedom right now than I've ever had in my life. And like I said, we're just getting started. We're starting to, see some financial wizardry coming down the pike from this amazing opportunity. And yeah, okay, here's my video. See if I can do that. The host has asked me to start my video. Okay, there you go. I don't know if you can see me now, but all right, people, aren't you blessed now? Okay. Oh yeah, it was great seeing you up in Natick last week too, Brad. But yeah, that said, the business has allowed me to scale way back, and I'm enjoying more free time right now, doing picking and choosing what I do for jobs that come in. If they make economic sense, I'm on board. If it doesn't, I'll see you later. I'll jump back on the phone and do some more Think Energy work. So thanks again for having me on, everybody.
You got it, buddy. And great seeing you in last week, and can't wait to see you in Puerto Rico, my friend. Thanks for all you do. You got an unbelievable market. Well, I see John Latcha just joined us. And John, real fast, buddy. I know you retired recently as a manufacturing engineer after 31 years. You own a dump truck company, apartment building, you flip houses. What got you excited about being an energy advisor, buddy? With all you do.
Oh, well, when we first started looking at this, that definitely, can you hear me first of all?
Yep, loud and clear, buddy.
All right, thanks for having me on. I've done this kind of business for a number of years, and most importantly is of course my family and friends, and we were looking for a new home for them. But as we got started with this, of course, the free energy is what gets me the most excited, because people can save more than they actually can just signing up. And then when I looked at the government was putting out back in the 22, the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022, it included $369 billion to fight climate crisis and just putting incentives out there for developing clean energy. And so I knew, talking to Julie, we were going to be doing that. And as soon as I saw that, I thought, well, finally, I'm going to be involved with something where the government's supporting it, at least part of it, and it's a new world. It's something that, we couldn't have done 2 years ago or 3 years ago. It's just a great opportunity. And for these younger guys, younger people, wow, what a time to be living, and what an opportunity to take a hold of this and just, really help your family, make a legacy. That's my intentions, so I can travel more, see my kids. They don't live, they don't all live right in this area. So it's important to get to be able to travel around, and, that's what gets me most excited, just because we have just an additional opportunity here. And of course, the free energy is important. And I just wanted to say, thank you guys for all you've done. And, promoting to regional director didn't come from me. It came from my team, all my teammates, and all the, customers they put in and their dedication to helping their family and friends. I just appreciate them so much, and everything you guys have done, Michael, Brad, the Kenny brothers, Tony, Julie, listening to us and implementing like free energy for going forward. Why I'm excited: free energy for churches, free energy now for commercial. I think it's just awesome. It's nothing but blessings are going to come.
No doubt about it. Well, thanks, John, for all you do, and I couldn't agree with you more, my friend. And look forward to seeing you 27 days from now, and then again in November, my friend.
Yes, sir. It's going to be fun.
Okay, it's going to be fun. And last but not least, Chuck Jones out of Ohio. Chuck, I know you were in the military for 10 years. You've been in energy prior from 2011, I think, to 2020. You had good success. I know you've had great success here in a much quicker time, but it always hasn't been easy. Buddy, how did you keep motivated to push forward? Because Ohio has not always been a good market.
No, you're right. First, thanks for having me on. But no, you're right. Ohio is not always a great market for a lot of things, but it is good that everybody in Ohio wants to save money if you can get them to listen to you. So as long as you can get in front of them, then at least if you can bend their ear for a couple minutes and get their attention, they'll kind of listen. Realistically, I've always been under the belief that activity and attitude dictates your altitude. So if you just keep plugging away, sooner or later, somebody will say yes.
Yep. I agree, buddy.
Making a regional director was a huge thing. While I'm on here, I do want to say thank you to Kylie Andre for bringing this to me a little over a year ago, because it's been a wild ride, and I'm looking forward to this trip to Puerto Rico much more than I was the trip to Hawaii.
Well, I'm looking forward to spending time with you, Chuck. We got to spend a lot of time together in Hawaii, and can't wait to spend more time with you in Puerto Rico, my friend. Much deserved. Congratulations to everyone: Charles, Fred, George, John, Michael, and Mike. And one more rank to go, you guys, and we'll close it out. And that's senior director. We got one senior director that have promoted in the month of July, and that's no other than a partnership of Pure Energy. And we have one member of that team on with us tonight. Rich, raise your hand if you can. We can find you. Rich Schloss, are you there?
I'm looking for him.
Thanks, Tony.
Yep. There he is. Okay, we're gonna get him in. I hope we are. All right, Rich, if you can't raise your hand, I'm gonna pin you right now, and then let's see if we can unmute you. All right, there we go, Rich.
Okay.
Boom.
Can you hear me all right?
Boom, there he is. Rich, congratulations, my friend. I know you've been in this industry for a while. You had great success in a previous company, and just tell us a little bit about why you're so excited about Think, buddy, and how this business is relates to your prior business. I know I don't know how much success and how quickly you had it in your prior business, but I know how quickly you've had success here. So take it away, my friend.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on the call. And after this call tonight, I'm a little fired up. You guys got me real excited. I guess one of the things I want to talk about is, we've had some really good speakers on tonight and said a lot of things that are exactly what I wanted to talk about is the fact that the opportunity we have on our hand. I hope that everybody understands the magnitude of what we have here. You see, I want to share that with some people that are on the call. Everybody's on the call. In order for me to do that, I think I want to take you back to 2009 with my first experience. Back then, I was trading my time for money. I actually had 4 jobs, believe it or not. I was the high school basketball coach up in upstate New York. Love sports. That's my true passion. That's something I've always wanted to be part of. But I was also running my own carpet cleaning business. I was caretaking homes. And on the weekends and nights, I'd go to a place called Camp Echo Lake, and I'd paint cabins until dark. And the truth is I've had 4 jobs. I worked about 80, 90 hours a week, and I had 4 kids, and I was broke. So I was very fortunate to have a good friend of mine come to my house one Saturday morning back in '09, and he started talking to me about being a customer for him with this other company. And I started asking him a question, what's this all about? Can I make money doing this? And he said, do you want to know more? I said, sure. So he put me on the phone with this guy, and this guy, he was fantastic, really. He just started talking to me, asked me a little bit about myself, and I shared the same story about how I was working 4 jobs, but I just couldn't get ahead. And he said, and I want everybody on the call to really think about this for a minute. He said to me, he said, Rich, I want you to think about where you were 5 years ago in your life. When I did, I thought about that. And then he said, I want you to think about where you are now. And he said, has anything changed? And then he hit me with this. Well, where are you going to be in 5 years or 10 years or 20 years from now if you don't do something different? So that really hit me. It resonated with me. Even though I was working all those hours, I knew that I had to do something different. So I was introduced to this company, and it was a simple company. And I thought, well, I can do this because all we did is go out and gather customers and show other people how to do the same thing, right? So listen, fast forward, I don't want to keep this as short as I can, but fast forward, I started that company working 3 to 4 hours a week. That's all I could really do at the time. But after my first year, I made, I hate to say numbers, but I made over $30,000 in my first year working very part-time basis. But then exponential growth kicked in, and time leverage, which I never understood. I was talked to about it, but I didn't know what it means, but I do now. And what I want to tell you is that you can build this on a very part-time basis and create an amazing income. Just to go back on that, I actually, in that business, I was there for 10 years, and I personally only sponsored 52 people in that business. But those 52 people I sponsored put over 20,000 advisors in my business. Now think about that for a minute. Sign up 52 and end up with 20,000. Why? Because the timing was perfect. I was in the right place at the right time. And that's what we have here. And the other thing I like to talk about is like time leverage. I mean, we're all the same, right? We all have 24 hours in a day, right? But think about time leverage. Those 20,000 customers, let's just say 20,000 customers, if they work just 1/2 hour day in their business every day, that's 10,000 hours of business going into your business. And folks, all I can say is that's what we have here. This, in my eyes, is 5 times bigger than that company. And when I heard about this, I could not wait to get started. So listen, just the people that work hard now, we're expanding. We're going to be all over this country, probably in other countries. We're just getting started, like everybody said. So I hope you understand what we have here, because I do, and I'm fired up. So thanks for having me tonight, Brad. I appreciate it. I hope I made sense, but thank you.
You did, Rich, and can't wait to see you and Sharon and Tim and Melissa in Puerto Rico. And congratulations again, my friend.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Looking forward to it.
You got it. Let's go next slide, please, Lauren. I'm just going to toss it back to the guy who opened it up, Tony Procopio. I know he's got probably 100 texts while we were on this call saying, you got to be kidding me about that promotion. Is it working like this? And Tony, we've made a lot of videos together. Close it out, my friend. Work your magic like you always do.
All right, Brad. Well, thank you. What an incredible event. The information that Mike brought us right at the beginning, leading into what Christian talked about with the rates and all the things that are happening with all of the promotions that we have existing right now in place already, that are still continuing. And then they bring in this new promotion that's now already started. We just found out about it, to get all of these double points going. I mean, just amazing. Everybody get focused on getting to that national event. It's going to be amazing when you think about it. And Brad, just one note. There were 2 people that we missed in the regional energy advisor. So because you couldn't see them on the screen, you said. So I just want to make sure that we recognize Joel D in New York and Jody D in New Hampshire. Those were the ones that were behind your video when you were looking there. So don't want to leave them out. But yeah, what an exciting place to be. What an exciting time that we have here, you guys. We are about to move into the fastest growth that we have ever had in this business and potentially in this entire industry because of what Christian laid out and because of the time of the year that's coming up. You guys know that everybody is going to be looking to make more money starting in September. On September 1st, everybody thinks about that. That's what we have to focus on. Let's change everybody's lives in the next year by starting right now. So what an incredible job. Thanks to Lauren and all the people that put this together. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes at corporate with Shannon and Max and all the people that, do all these slides for us and all the announcements and stuff like that. So, and Adam. So I just want to make sure that, we recognize everybody. So what an incredible job, Brad. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great night. Let's stay focused. Get your people registered for the events and get them onto the events that we do locally and virtually. And we will see you at the top. Everybody, thanks for being here.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks,
Phil,
everybody.
I forgot to mention you. Phil, unbelievable.
Good
I mean,
to-
come on. You got to be kidding me. To put that promotion together like that, you and Brad, I mean, it's like this big giant brain that came up with this thing when you add these two people together. It's unbelievable.
Oh, that's great.
Great
Get
job.
out there, get
guys.
registered for the national convention. If you're already registered, nice work, guys. Hey, thanks everyone. Have a great evening. All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a good one.